I'm Basia Sokolowska, taking you through my creative alphabet. Today is the letter F. F for fabrics. A very important material in my photographs. I've loved fabrics from childhood. The glossary, which guides us through this series of videos, has an entry on fabrics, and it tells a very kind of traumatic story of my childhood when I swapped a very pretty expensive doll for a small rectangle of lace. I got into trouble for that, of course, because my parents didn't understand what was so special about this piece of lace. Well, I don't think there was anything special about it, but love is love, and for me it was worth much more than a doll. I continued being fascinated by fabrics and bought often lengths of fabrics which I thought were very beautiful. Quite a lot of them came from Asia, and used them in my photographs from the very beginning, from my Carmen Infinitum series to my latest and probably the last series of photographs, the islands, photographs that I took in 2019, where fabric became the water and the sky and the sand. I don't have such fascination with clothes as I do with fabrics, and quite often fabrics stay as lengths of fabrics in boxes that I have in my wardrobe. I have boxes for silks and for cottons and for batiks and for translucent fabrics. Each of them has a different life, and I use it for different purposes. In some cases, these pieces of fabric that I bought became clothes, like this fabric in this Carmen Infinitum photograph, which a very talented dressmaking and cloth designing friend of mine turned into a skirt and a blouse, which I wore. But I liked photographing it too, so I included it in this photograph, and it, as you can see, brought a lot of volume and life to it. This kind of shimmering, reflecting light, pink and cream fabric. So that's what fabrics do in my photographs. They often are like patches of color. They like my paints. That's what they do. That's how painters use them. I use fabrics instead. And also I'm quite partial to the way they reflect light, and they become alive in life depending on how you fold them and how you drape them. So they become a very important compositional tool, as well as the color component of my photographs. At the same time, I think they also allow me to include some 3D components in my photographs. I like making things with my hands, and I think that using these fabrics, I made little sculptures like I did in the Chrysalis series. And of course they're very temporary and ephemeral sculptures, but that's what I've been doing so far. That's my sculptural enjoyment. I use fabrics differently in different photographic series. In Ars Moriendi, I used red, deep red, translucent, semi-translucent fabric as a veil. In a similar way, I used this beautiful Hanamori scarf, which I photographed through, In my photographs of Beyond the Surface series, I showed an image with this scarf, a photograph taken through the scarf. When I talked about daylight, there is a special episode devoted to that topic, so you can check it out. So textiles are very special, and also it's often been commented that it's a kind of feminine touch, a feminine characteristic that I bring into my art. Perhaps it is. If it is, it's not consciously done. I don't have a political agenda making my art. It just flows from what I am and what I like, and what I do best, I think.